Welcome back. Grab a seat and meet me in the kitchen. Today we're making Merlot braised short ribs with sweet potato and Parmesan polenta. This is what you'll need. Let's get started. First, you'll need some gorgeous short ribs. You want to make sure they're nice and meaty and well marbled throughout to give you a luscious and tender result when finished. We're going to heavily season this piece of meat because it is so thick and it's going to braise for a long time. We want to ensure that we give our gravy the best start it can have. So we're going to season this meat and rub everything in, every corner, every crevice, even the side of the bone. We want to make sure we put a whole lot of love into this step. After we've thoroughly seasoned the short ribs, we're going to push them to the side, grab a bowl, and add some all-purpose flour so we can dredge our short ribs. You want to thoroughly coat them to ensure our sear is even and all those juices stay inside our meat. All done. Aren't they lovely? Let's get to our pan. We're going to add our mirepoix, fresh garlic, and grape tomatoes to the bottom of our pan in a single layer. It's going to protect our meat from touching the bottom of the pan while cooking. It's also going to start our gravy and impart a whole lot of flavor. You don't have to worry about how these are cut because they're not going to be seen. They're just going to be pressed through when we make our gravy. Time to sear. We're going to start by adding some canola oil to the pan and bringing it up to temperature. We want to get a nice hard crust on these to keep all that flavor and juice in while they're braising for 3 hours. So we're going to let them get nice and brown on each side and then remove them and put them in our pan. You want to be sure not to overcrowd your pan because you won't achieve the color or the sear that you want. Overcrowding makes your oil temperature drop, therefore boiling instead of searing. So take your time and do it in batches. And here we are, golden brown and delicious. Let's add our liquid. We're going to add our Merlot. You want to make sure that you're using wine that you drink and not cooking wine, only because of the sodium level. You want to make sure you're in control of your salt and nothing else is. We're also adding our organic bone broth. I like bone broth because it gives us a deeper flavor, and at the ends it really helps your gravy bring the beef flavor without adding so much salt. We have some crushed tomatoes that we're adding. That's going to help in thickening our sauce and giving it some body. We're also going to add Worcestershire. We all love Worcestershire. Give it a little shake. We're going to add some more bone broth because we are braising. So you want to make sure you have enough liquid to cover your meat. And I'm also going to add fresh herbs. So today I'm using thyme and rosemary. The herb choice is really up to you. Okay, at this point, I am flipping the short ribs over so the bone side is up and our meat gets to absorb all that flavor and cook really low and slow in our braising liquid. I also do this step so we don't get that dry top on our short ribs. That tends to happen when the liquid evaporates and there's not enough covering it. So when you turn it over, it's guaranteed to stay moist and get tender and delicious, and you don't have to worry about your expensive cut of meat drying out. I also added a splash of sugar just to even out our flavors. So we're gonna cover our short ribs in parchment paper. That's what I used. Place in a 300-degree oven for 3 hours. And move on to our polenta. So we're going to bring our water in half and half up to a rolling boil, add some salt, and then stir in the polenta. Now polenta is corn grits as opposed to hominy grits that everyone is used to from the South. You're going to continuously stir this for 10 to 15 minutes to ensure there are no lumps or clumps and all of the first batch of liquid is fully absorbed. Then you're going to add in an additional cup of half and half. Set your temperature to low and cover, and the polenta is essentially going to steam to finish and soften up. Let's take a look. There we are, as creamy as it can get. We're going to continue to stir. That texture is beautiful and luscious. It's not stodgy, it's not watery. That is polenta perfection. I'm going to add some additional flavors to this polenta. But first, let's taste for seasoning. We're going to peel our sweet potato, get it all smooth and whipped, and add it into our polenta. We're also going to add a half a stick of our salted butter because butter is better. Leave the margarine in the refrigerator. Now this is going to add a nice sweet flavor. It's going to counterbalance our Merlot that we have in our short ribs. We're going to always taste for seasoning. And then we're also going to add our Parmesan cheese, and this is fresh. We're going to shave it right in. That's going to give us a little bit of funk and edge, and just make sure we thoroughly incorporate it and everything is rich and smooth. Time for the big reveal. Da 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 da! We have short rib perfection. Oh, the dreams. I had to slow it down for you right here. Tender, coming right off the bone, pull apart, melt away. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. Just bring it all in. Take it all in. Waft in that steam. This is going to be delicious. Okay, so we're going to remove our short ribs from the pan and place them to the side. We want to rest them just like we would rest a very expensive steak. Let's get saucy. We're going to take all those pan drippings and put them through a fine sieve and remove the vegetables from them. The sieve is over a pan because we're going to reduce this down to half, but not before we take a back of a spatula or a wooden spoon and try to extract all the flavors out of those vegetables. So we're gonna push and press and shimmy and shake and take your time, because you've already waited 3 hours. You might as well let your sauce be just as good as the short ribs. So we're pressing and pressing and shimmying. And this is also gonna help make your gravy thick and luscious. Now, as we bring our jus up to a boil, we're going to remove and skim all the fat from off the top. Short ribs are very fatty, so you want to make sure you remove as much as you can. We're going to add a slurry, and magically, we get this gorgeous, rich, beefy gravy. Let's plate it up. We're going to start with laying down our polenta in a nice shallow bowl. You definitely would not want to plate this on a regular plate. You'd be chasing your polenta everywhere. So we're going to try to make a little well just to house our short ribs. Yes, yes, yes. We might as well just throw another one on the side. Comfort in a bowl. And we're going to add our gravy that we worked so hard on. We're just going to let it rain from the heavens. Normally I'd spoon it on, but I'm home. This is for me. Divine. Well, I thank you guys for joining me for this video this week. And we look forward to next week here with Shara at Home. Remember to like and subscribe. Enjoy your night. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Press that bell to receive all notifications. Brought to you by Shara's Kitchen and Catering for your catering and private chef needs.